You can read and watch Lord of the Rings so many times. You can see so many amazing things that Tolkien put in that parallel life and parallel faith, and that clip is amazing. I just love the idea that they're on a mission. They're on a quest to destroy the One Ring, the Power Ring, and they're on the journey to Mordor, and this band of people have come together for one common person, to help out little Frodo with a common mission. And they have all come to this point where they're getting closer to the enemy's camp. And they're moving and moving, and I love the ending phrase that Bontrager says, as after he's had this moment of insanity, and Frodo runs off. What have I done? Well, I mean, what have I done? I mean, the mission is worth it. They're all on board, but then unity is broken. The fellowship divides at this point. Frodo and Sam go on toward Mordor. And Aragorn takes the rest of the team and goes after Merry and Pippin, who get captured. And Boromir dies. The fellowship that was, the great unity they have, the great purpose they have is gone in a blink of an eye. We had Vision Night last week. We got together, we had a good time, we had some good food, and we talked about where Journey is going. We talked about the mission, and our mission is to make fully devoted followers of Jesus Christ. It's been the mission since we began. It's the mission that God calls us to. To take ordinary, everyday people that are far from Him and to introduce them to this amazing man called Jesus Christ. And to lead them into understanding, into knowledge, and into a relationship, and then to surrendering and following and joining the mission and becoming a full follower. And we shared last week during Vision Night that we're simplifying some of the concepts because they overlap and sometimes we get lost in phrasing and terminology. And we talked about we're going to reach people as one of our passions. We are passionate about being outreach focused. We are going to go and do things and reach our friends, reach our neighbors, reach our co-workers and family. We're going to grow deeper. We're going to come to a better understanding of who God is and who Christ is and what that means for our life. And we're going to be honoring God with our life. You know, just like Amy was praying earlier, we want to honor Him in all that we do. Those are the three passions. That's all wrapped up into our mission and our vision. And the mission is to go and let people know that. And if you were out there last week, we shared other dreams, like the Camp Victory dream of going on mission. We have an index card. It's like a little bookmark. And if you would like to learn more about some of those things, there's big, hairy, audacious goals, BHAGs. So if you find those little funny words, you don't know what the BHAG is, that's what it means. Those are things beyond our ability to achieve. Those are the things that we says God wants us to pull us on the great adventure, and without God in the center of it, we cannot achieve those goals. So today as you leave, if you're interested in more about the mission and the vision, grab those things and learn more about it. The mission is great. The mission is simple, but often we have a hard time achieving it because we have a hard time getting along in unity. We have a hard time staying on mission and purpose together, just like Boromir. We have those moments of just insanity. And we hurt the fellowship, and we hurt the unity that God has given us. And we've enjoyed 5 wonderful years of unity. It's amazing the things we've done, the places we've gone, and God has protected unity very, very well here at Journey. It's a wonderful thing, but it is a fragile thing. It's a fragile thing. Your lack of unity affects all of us. There is a breaking of unity that affects all of us. It affects our marriages. It affects your office place. And lack of unity, or the breaking of unity, definitely affects our churches. I mean, it's now hard to see. Church split after church split, denomination after denomination, mission of common focus, and the city churches can't get along with each other. We talk about unity, we talk about being part of the kingdom family of God, but it's so hard to see because it breaks down so fast. It is so fragile. We're looking at the life of Abraham. We're looking at Abram and Sarah as they're beginning to go on mission with God. We've seen some wonderful things as he heard the call and said, okay, we'll go. And God said, I'm going to take you and take you. And they wandered and they traveled and they journeyed. And we saw him worship and bless and honor God along the way. And we saw him last week with lack of integrity fall on his face. And we're asking the question, what does it take to be a man that's all in, a woman that's all in? Because we saw and we began the end picture of extreme sacrifice, extreme going all the way with God. Now we're looking at the characteristics of what it means to follow and really become a man like Abraham. Unity is a part of this. So what does unity have to do with what we learned about today? Abraham's been kicked out of Egypt last week because of integrity. He's picked up, he's gone on, he's taken all his riches, all his stuff, and he's begun to travel again as we pick up in chapter 13. And if you want to follow along, if you want to jump on in, we're on page 11 of those yellow Bibles that we hand out here. And we're going to start at verse 1, almost exactly where we left off. So the little gap in time has taken place from being kicked out to where they are now. And starting at verse 1. So Abram left Egypt and traveled north into the Negev, along with his wife and Lot and all they owned. Abram was very rich in livestock, silver, and gold. From the Negev, they continued traveling by stages toward Bethel, and they pitched their tents between Bethel and Ai, where they had camped before. This was the same place where Abram had built the altar, and there he worshipped the Lord again. So they're going backwards. They're retracing their steps on this journey now. Lot, who was traveling with Abram, had also become very wealthy with flocks of sheep and goats, herds of cattle, and many tents. But the land could not support both Abram and Lot with all their flocks and herds living so close together. So disputes broke out between the herdsmen of Abram and Lot. At that time, Canaanites and Perizzites were also living in their land. Finally, Abraham said to Lot, nope, we'll pause there. Stop there. Because I'm not going to tell you what happened next. Right now, life looks good. Life and mission are good. They are following God. They're doing everything they possibly can to say, we're on mission with you, Lord. And along the way, life has gotten really good. They have increased their wealth. Their businesses are thriving. Not just Abram, not just the leader, but the nephew has a thriving business. And things are going amazingly well, even as they are moving and shifting and going. But now conflict is going. Conflict is brewing. And look very closely what the conflict is. It kind of surprises us. This conflict is over success. This conflict is over two men and the success and the blessings of God. Now, often we think that conflict arises out of the bad stuff. Conflict often happens when we go off-road and trouble happens. That's what we mostly think it happens. But often, actually, conflict comes out of when you begin to have good times in your life. Blessings begin to come your way. Ministries begin to grow. Churches begin to grow. And all of a sudden, conflict comes out of, I don't like your success. I don't like how God's somehow blessing you. I'm working just as hard as you are. Why do you get noticed? Why do you get the good stuff? I'm working just as hard. Where's my slice of the pie? And these guys are both doing so well, but the conflict is now that we can't keep doing business the way we're doing business like the way we used to. The land cannot sustain what is happening. The blessings are so rich, so amazing. We have to change how we're doing life together a lot. But at this time, the herdsmen are arguing. The workers, the employees, the servants, the team is beginning to bicker among each other. And it's beginning to affect Abraham and Lot's relationship. That is so much like the church. That is so much like our marriages. That is so much like our workplaces. Often we can deal with conflict when it's tough times. We unite together. We lock arms. Nothing is going to separate us. We have a mission and a goal. Yeah, we're going through rough times, but we'll pick you up. We'll fight to the end with you. But when success comes, other things happen in our heart.